winning every situation of any play, right? You kind of look at it more from each individual play situation than holistically, like maybe the media looks at it a little bit differently. So every single play, you either won that play or you lost that play, and if you lost that play, what do we do wrong and what do we need to fix it? So it's hard to even big picture it. But the guys know, every single play, what they could have done better or what they did well, and just next situation, next play, what can you do? So.
And how would you assess, Keon's play throughout the game?
Oh, he's a great player, and he continues to play at a very high level. Obviously, I think people are caught on the single play that, was a huge play for them, and they did a great job of coaching and scouting and finding that situation and that coverage, and kudos to them for doing it. We got to do a better job technically and make the play in that situation.
Well, and I think it was maybe Roman Harper, or someone who knows more about football than I do, was explaining that it wasn't necessarily as clear as that's quote unquote Keon's fault. Can you eliminate it all?
I would say that every play you got to do your 1/11th. So singularly, I think Keon would love to have that play back, but I think there's a number of people on the field that would love that play back as well. And that's just part of the game, right? So I can singularly focus on him and meet with him, and there's some details of that play that he would love to have back, and we'll make that adjustment because what's put on film, somebody else is going to attempt as well. So we anticipate it coming at some point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just overall, how would you assess the play of your unit in the Georgia game?
Shoot, every unit's good enough to win, and that's all that it's about. And like I said, I don't stay in the big picture world. I'm pretty focused on each individual play, and there were great plays and bad plays, and plays we wish we could have back, and plays that are going to show up again on the season, and how we play them is the key now, is focus on the next play.
In the second half, when y'all have a big lead and they're kind of moving into 4-down territory the whole length of the field, how does that change things defensively in terms of responsibilities, what you call, everything like that?
Well, I think there's small changes and definitely some situations where you may not want to be as aggressive, or situations where you want to be more aggressive, somewhat dependent on what they're doing and what the situation of the down and distance is. So I don't think we played it drastically differently. They made some plays in the fourth quarter, really. People are focused on the second half, but if you really break it down, it's the fourth quarter and about 8 minutes in the fourth quarter that you would love to have back. And we've prided ourselves on not giving up explosive plays all season, and they found some explosives and they hit them. And that's part of the game. And luckily we were in a situation where we survived them, but we can't let that happen again.
If you were to break down kind of King Wommack's vision-based coverage scheme, how would you describe it for somebody who may not know football, who may not have seen you guys play before?
I think that's a lot to do of we're very multiple in our coverages, and we have a lot of different coverages. I think there is a vision-based cover 3 that was Seahawk-driven through the Legion of Boom that we play, and play probably significantly more than most teams in college football. But by this day and age, most people carry that vision coverage, and including, I'm sure they even had it here in some form or fashion in the past. So I think people love to focus on that. We've been playing a lot of man, and I think the world knows that. But you play to the strengths of your players and the situation that arises within the game. So I think what is vision cover 3? It is 3 deep, 4 under with eyes on the quarterback. We've all played that for a long time. So
we're kind of out of box recruiting. So kind of on the outside looking in, when you look at the receiver room that Alabama's built, and you kind of, whether it's this class or it's the guys that have come in, how important is size to those receivers? Because you see a lot of programs that are getting 6'3", 6'2", these big time deep threat receivers, but I mean, is it more about like the shiftiness, the speed of a guy? Is it more about like their ability to make people
From a defensive back's perspective,
like
playing
when you
against
see
a talented receiver
Yeah.
is the hardest thing, and they come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see a number this year that are truly of all shapes and sizes, and they can all create their own issues. I think that certain offenses probably lead to wanting certain types of receivers and how they use them, but they all can be dangerous. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, is there a type of receiver that you feel has worked best at Alabama? Or
That's hard for me to say, and I think even the coaches that would have been here for a long period of time would say that the offense has drastically changed over different eras and different coordinators, and what that coordinator might have preferred might have been different. I mean, obviously Julio Jones and Smitty are pretty extreme differences, and both were unbelievable players. So
you guys are facing a mobile quarterback this weekend. What's that like preparation-wise for the safeties, for the secondary? Are there rules for when he leaves the pocket that you guys try to follow? Or?
Yeah, I think the ability to extend plays. I mean, this kid's extremely competitive, and his ability to make things happen when maybe it's not there, that just forces us to not relax and play through the whistle, and that's been the main focus, because it's not necessarily his running skills that we're worried about in the back end, but it's the extension of the plays that are the scary things.
He's not a slider either, is he?
No, he's a tough kid. He's a wrestler. He's a state finalist in New Mexico, and
state champ. Give that kid some
is he
credit.
state champ? There you go. I know he's tough.
The way most quarterbacks slide, I'm sure a lot of DBs are conditioned to pull up. I mean, you got to tell your guys, hey, that's not going to happen this week.
Yeah, I mean, he's a competitive kid. We've shown plenty of clips of how competitive he is, and how he makes the big plays in the big moments, and I think we definitely know what we're playing against as far as that goes.
Last two questions.
How have you adjusted to Coach Womack's system in vision coverage? How would you explain vision coverage? What do you think the advantages of it are?
Again, I think it's a very that's probably been overdriven over time. I think that there is an aspect of our coverage that is vision based, but we're probably playing as much man as anyone in the country right now. So we got really good players, and we're matching them up in man-to-man situations. But yes, we do play with some eyes on the quarterback as well.
One more. I got time for one more. All right. That's it.